Tim Bell, the head basketball coach for the Arweeva Rockets, picking up a win number 500 of his career tonight as they top Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton. Coach, first of all, congratulations. Large crowd on hand here tonight. Could you sense the emotion before this game started tonight?
Yeah, you know, I live right across the school, and you can tell when at 5:30 people were already parking and coming over, so that you knew there was going to be a big crowd. Elkhorn Kimballton girls are rated high, so they brought a good crowd, and then of course the people that came tonight, you know, for us was big, and it's nice to see. It's been a long time since we had a lot of people like that here.
Coach, did you talk to the guys at all before the game about controlling their emotions, because you know they knew what they were playing for tonight?
Yes, I did. And I'm not one of these guys that like to have this hoopla and stuff like that. And so we told them last thing to go out and says, we don't need to worry about what's happening tonight for me. We need just to make sure we do what we need to get done. And I think they did a pretty good job of it tonight.
You guys jumped out early, and then Exira made a run at you there in the second quarter. You called a quick timeout. What'd you say to the guys? Kind of settle them down. They rebuilt the lead there.
Yeah, we were letting them shoot the ball too much inside. They were getting too many easy shots inside, and I was disappointed in that. And we finally told them, we said, you need to make sure the big guys get out in front and top of them, and don't allow them to get cut your face and stuff like that. And then we got out and ran. We did not run the best the first half. Second half we did.
Let's talk about the defensive effort. That's something that night in and night out seems to be there for your club this year. What makes this group so special defensively?
They're hustlers. If you watch anybody out there, they're just going 100 miles an hour. Sometimes, you know, the 100 miles an hour is not good, but we cause a lot of problems with the hustling. And then the little guys out front, Zach and Brandon and Derek. Once the balls get inside of you, you're going to dribble. They're going to come down, and they're going to cause some problems like that. And we started doing that in the second half, and that's what, you know, the reason we got out with the lead, a little bit bigger lead, because we got some steals in, then we got out and started running down the court.
Not always easy to get a young group of guys to kind of buy into defense first. How were you able to do that with this group?
Well, you know, they had it last year as freshmen. You know, we had some success with last year, and so they knew what to expect, and they did a good job in the middle school with that. And so we just kind of carried on, and we just build on it, and you know, every year you're just going to build a little bit more. And they realized if they go ahead and get out and play defense, they can get out on the other end, go down and shoot some layups and stuff like that. And of course, everybody wants to score.
Talk about the unselfishness of this team. Is that something that you like seeing? Are they as unselfish as you wish they'd be?
Yes, and then sometimes they are too unselfish. You know, you know, sometimes they need to take a shot, but no, we get that extra pass, and then somebody's sitting wide open, and that's really big. So now you got the opponents not knowing who's going to take the shot and who's going to pass the ball and stuff like that. It seems like we always find that one more pass in that open person. You
guys have had some games this year that were tight, and you always seem to find kind of an extra gear. What makes this team so special in being able to do that?
Well, like I said before, they hustle. You know, it seems like we just kind of crank it up another notch. And play a little bit tighter defense. We are at our best when we can get out and run, and then when we can get to play, you know, the tough defense that we're capable of playing, that causes a lot of problems because we get steals and then we go down the other end and shoot layups, and then it seems like we get everybody speeded up. If we get you speeded up, you know, now you're playing into our game, and then it's just at our advantage.
Let's talk a little bit about the career. I think, 77, 78 the first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Talk about the beginning for you and how much things have changed over the years.
Well, in the very first year, we had a really good team. They had success the year before that. I think they got beat in the districts, but they had an outstanding team then. So I inherited Terry Rickers and Russell Hawley and who was the other one? Oh, Kevin Hagee were three that I inherited, and there were some other kids that were involved, but then we had Dan Cook and Chip Tiedemann were also involved, and Roger Lichty and stuff, but they had the fundamentals right there. They kind of took me by the hand and led me for a while there because, you know, we went ahead and put something different in that they'd never had before, and we worked on it, but there was good kids. I'm sorry, coaching in the high school level is not all it's cracked up to be as far as you're the genius. It's the talent, and hopefully everybody knows that. If you got some good talent, you can roll the ball out and say, okay, fellas, let's go. And we've been blessed with a lot of talent here over the years.
Well, I was going to say, 27 seasons, 20 win seasons under your belt. So how have you been able to keep that much talent in a small school district for this long?
Well, we do it. The parents do a good job. I mean, and then when we first got here, we went ahead and had a Saturday program where we didn't play any games. We just played. We brought them in and did all fundamentals. And I always can attribute that. If you get somebody in there that wants to do the fundamentals, you're going to be fairly decent. But it seems like nowadays all they want to do is play games, and you got people that are coaching that know the game, but they're not teaching the fundamentals, and then they're not progressing like they should. If you teach fundamentals, then you can do anything you want to with the kids.
Tim, as you look back over the 500 wins, any games kind of come back to your memory?
Well, somebody brought it up, and I forgot all about it. When we got the 100th win, we had a 5-point play back in. Doug Ehlers told me, so whenever that was. I mean, I'm not bringing up any years or whatever, but we were very fortunate to get away with a win that night. But yeah, I forgot about that one, but that one comes back. No 3-point line. We had a 5-point play. So it's just fun. The kids have been great. Parents have done an outstanding job in Westside, in Arcadia, Baylor. It's a good place to live, and it's a good place to bring up your kids. And I wouldn't trade it for $1 million.
A lot of former players here tonight.
Yes.
Kind of sentimental when they started walking on the floor tonight.
Yeah, it was. And I got to see most of them, talk to them a little bit, and that was nice for them to show up for that. But that's what type of kids they are. They'll do that for you. They're a good bunch of kids.
How many of these guys have you kind of stayed in touch with over the years?
Oh, quite a few. Most of those, you saw most of the kids there tonight. I probably talked to them within the last year. So they're pretty good kids that they still come back home and stuff like that. They'll come to the game and they'll say hi to you during the girls' game and stuff like that. So most of them are right around this area, and then they'll still come back.
I remember interviewing you after 400 here a few years ago. How many years you're hoping to get to before you maybe get up around that 600?
That won't happen. It's going to be maybe one more, and that's it for sure. And my saying has always been that I want to make sure when I retire that the cupboard is still going to have players involved. There's not going to be bare. I just hate that when some of the coaches, then all the players are gone, then they leave, and some poor guy's got to come in and try to do something. We got a good tradition going now. We got some kids coming up in the 8th grade that are going to be talented and stuff like that. So I'm going to go out, and there's going to be some kids coming up. So whoever's going to come in, they're going to have some players, and they're going to be successful also.
Well, Tim, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Congratulations on career victory number 500.
Thank you.